Alright, sorry guys for the wait, and as I get my thing set up, welcome to the official second test round of the LRL F1 2018 season, and my name is Fridolf Finn, and hope you have a great time watching this round of testing, or rather test racing. Today we have a grid of 14 people, it seems like. Not too bad again. Just gonna note that anyone who has set a time in the waiting list will always have a chance of being a reserve in any of our races. So yeah. Even if you're far down the waiting list, just be ready, and you might get a seat for a certain race. As we scroll through the grid, we have Giova in the Ferrari. Again, a very strong driver, which I have definitely seen showing off some of his talent in time trial. Has set a extremely fast time in wet conditions around Hungary, so if the dynamic weather will come into play today, we'll definitely see something spectacular from this guy. So, Giova, what can you do as he starts the clock? And as we have yellow flags at sector 2, let me actually change the camera mode, as I did get some complaints that the commentary mode, wait, what's it called? Broadcast mode, sorry, has not been a very pleasing for the eyes, as it seems like Giova has given up on his lap. Might have been some sort of lap validation, who knows? As we still don't have any lap time set overall. The Blackout Julian here then in the Red Bull. On board 3 turn 2 we go. Nice tight line, open up the gas and aim for the quickest exit, as there's a long straight of waiting there. As we get a time from Schwabo there, 1 minute 16.4, and with flip-flop fish with a 1 minute 16.5, very close again, and hopefully we get the other guys into this bunch as well, as Giova comes through the last corner to start his new lap, and Blackout Julian in the Red Bull seemingly is going to complete his lap. The Ginger setting the fastest lap time in a McLaren. And sorry if my microphone was being a bit silent there. I was not oh sorry, I haven't been I didn't set up my mic volume properly, as we get the fastest lap time of the session, 1 minute 15.526, with Blackout Julian just ahead of the Ginger by 1/100th of a second. Looking like an interesting qualifying battle right here, as we see the Ginger nearly spinning there. And yeah, this league seems to bring out very similarly matched people on pace, definitely, which is good to see. Falk, I believe, has just set his lap time 1 minute 16.4. Best of the rest then from the 1 minute 16 group. Tristan, his teammate, setting a 1 minute 18.298. A bit further from the others, but still within 2 seconds of Mr. Tuning, who's just set his lap time, 1 minute 16.6. And I'm sorry for this annoying rev bug, but I guess we're just going to have to deal with it for now. Really, Codemasters are really starting to piss me off with all these bugs, but what can you do? And again today we were going to have Magnus aka Boko Bomb commentate, and unfortunately yet again for reasons unknown he is not here with me. I should probably set some details out here, as in fitted tyres and so on. So let's put in some telemetry and lap data, and there we go. Really annoying, this rev bug, but I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry guys. I do have to check comments now, as a good tip given to me, as there's a lot of valuable information that I might have missed from last time, so yes. Yeah, I don't know how to set the game volume exactly so that my volume will be matched, so that might be a problem. Just tell me in the comments if my voice is too low, then I will try to fix it. As Al Atakea has set a scorching lap time, a 1 minute 14.996, the first person to go under the 1 minute 15s into the 1 minute 14s. Incredible lap time already from the Spaniard, setting himself apart from the group in the mid 1 minute 15s, who are seemingly really close together pace wise. As we all wait patiently for a lap from both of the Ferrari drivers, Giova and Rhythms. Rhythms on an out lap, it seems, while Giova on a flying lap currently. Let's go on board of this guy right here. Tidy lines seen from this man. A very quick driver in time trial again. Let's see what you can do. And it seems like his lap has been invalidated, or something has happened, as Giova has slowed down yet again. Not looking good for him. Well, we go on board of Rhythms in the Ferrari, looking to set his first proper lap. Looks very clean and tidy. No wheel spin. It's just a pleasure to watch this man driving, as nothing seems to be getting in the way of this Ferrari driver. No panicking, no nothing, just a clean lap. Let's see where this lap will put him in. And it will be a 1 minute 15.7, which will split him apart from the two Sauber drivers, Droppier and Schwaber. Very average lap time from Rhythms then. And oh, as we see Mr. Tuning there, utilising the straight line that you can draw through the chicane there. But unfortunately it will invalidate your lap time. As yes, strict track limits can definitely be very harsh in Hungary, but then again, regular corner cutting is at the opposite end of the spectrum, as you can cut the chicane that we just saw Mr. Tuning doing just now without having any sort of penalties or lap invalidations. In that case, we had to go for strict. Mr. Tuning on another flying lap, and a neat first sector, nothing to be worried about so far, looking good. Let's see what he can do in the chicane. This time it goes perfectly, in contrast to the last lap. Looks like a very good lap time until there. He had some oversteer, which will kill some lap time, or not kill lap time, but kill grid position, I guess. So let's see, where will Mr. Tuning place himself with this lap time? And he sets a 1 minute 15.8, which puts him just behind Rhythms. Sorry for the stuttering again. A good lap time from Mr. Tuning, not bad at all. Oh yeah, about commentating, as I am an official part of the grid in this series, we will need someone else to commentate these races, so anyone up for the job, you can just message me on Discord or Rhythms, whoever you prefer, and we can check you out. Preferably, if you have experience of commentating, you can send us a link to whatever commentary clip you may have from a previous race, as it seems like all of the grid has now set a lap time, as Chiova splits Mr. Tuning and Rhythms, placing him in 6th place. Ferrari seeming to be in a strong position in the middle of the grid, just above average. Not bad. Not bad at all. The wild card of these two drivers then most probably being dynamic weather, as I've seen Giova again mentioning his amazing lap time in wet weather conditions around Hungary, so the wild card for these people will be rain. So if this race were to turn out anything like Silverstone, these people will be golden. I'm very annoyed with the RPM bug. It is hurting my ears, most certainly. Al-Attica going quite slow through the chicane. I'm wondering what's going on over here, but is this Rhythms then in another flying lap? Could this be? Most certainly seems like it. A little bit of a lock-up on the inside tyre there. Nothing to be worried about though. Doesn't seem to lose too much time as we get our first sector time, which is a 26.8. Again, I don't have any comparison times for that, but I can imagine that he might be improving this lap as the track is becoming faster as the session progresses. We've got 2 minutes left of qualifying, and about now people will be going on their out laps and looking to set their final lap times, as Rhythms seems like he might have gone a bit too wide there and invalidated his lap time. Unfortunate for him, as he might have used all of his ERS deployment on that lap, and will have to cool down for his second lap. Seems like Al Atakar is opting to have full confidence on his amazing lap time that he set at the start of the session, and will not be setting a second one. Makes sense, really. More tyre sets. While we have Blackout Julian on his out lap, warming his tyres, getting ready for that final push in the Red Bull. If there's any chance for him to beat Al Atakar, he will have to give it everything through the out lap and the lap itself, of course. Sector 2, Sector 3 both having a yellow flag. Would be interesting to check out what that is all about, but we have Blackout Julian starting his final flying lap, which we will be checking out on board as he goes a bit laggy into turn 1. Don't know what to make out of that, as it seems like he is going somewhat clean, but I can't really tell with all of this lag going on. A 26.8 sector time, if I remember correctly. That's just about the same what Rhythms had a lap before. As Rhythms, out of my sight, I did not see this coming, but he has set himself into third place with a 1 minute 15.4. A very good lap time, seeing that he has had some pace struggles in this track in particular, and an applaudable performance from a German in the Ferrari. Mr. Tuning and Al Atakar already finished from this session. Blackout Julian setting his final flying lap, and he will just put himself in front of Rhythms F1 with a 1 minute 15.3. Sorry, that was Mr. Tuning with a 1 minute 15.3. There's Blackout Julian, who has set himself into second place. Sorry about that mistake. He has set himself into second place with a 1 minute 15.187. A very nice lap time as Dropier as well sets himself into third place. Very close with Blackout Julian, just missing out on the second place of the grid, just missing out on the front row with a 1 minute 15.208, which is a roughly 0.02 of a second slower than Blackout Julian. And by now it seems everyone has set their lap times as Rhythms pulls into the pit, and there we have it, folks. The qualifying session of our second official test race with Al Atakar on pole. And here we have the grid for this race. Al Atakar taking pole in front of Blackout Julian, Dropier, Mr. Tuning, Rhythms in 5th place, the Ginger, Giova, Falk, Flip Flop Fish, Schwabo completing the top 10, Polino Bros, EK, ENTX, Courtois, Tristan, and there we have the grid for today. While we patiently wait for players, I might have to get myself a drink before my mouth gets drier than the Saharan desert. Hopefully we do have formation lap on, otherwise I will have to stick here. And we do in fact have the formation lap. You guys can have fun spectating this while I go grab myself a drink. Be right back. Hello again, as I come back from my tiny drink break. As we see people swerving left and right to create heat in their tyres. Seems like, amazingly, our formation lap has once not become a farce. No one has actually gotten disqualified. No one has been set straight to the grid. Good to see that people have finally found some driving manners while being out on their formation lap. Not saying that anyone is lacking driving manners, but seeing that this is the first time people have not hit each other, it's nice to see. As we see some people in the back of the grid risking it with the yellow soft tyres. As again, I am going to complain about this camera type, as it's not very nice, but here we go. It is lights off and away we go with Al Ataker. I have no idea where he is. He's going straight to the inside, trying to block Blackout Julian for the first corner. Here we see Al Ataker keeps his place as there's been some contact between the Red Bull and the Sauber. Who were those two? I do not know. And as it seems like, oh, there's been some sort of mess in the back of the grid. What could have happened over there, as we have Mr. Tuning and the Ginger battling side by side through the straight, and there's a Williams, and there's huge contact with AK retiring from the session. What has happened there? And there's a 5-second stop and go penalty from Flip Flop Fish, and it's Rhythms who has spun out with the Toro Rosso of Mr. Tuning. Unfortunate stuff for Ike and Rhythms and Mr. Tuning. A very messy lap from the start of the race, but it seems like things are starting to what's it called? Start settling. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, things are starting to settle for now, as a very, very hectic start for the second test race. And Falk going into the pits, probably lost a part of his front wing as it seems. Going in for the front wing change, yes he does. Tristan doing the same, and oh no! Force India having to do a double stack, which will not be in favour for Tristan. Flip-flop fish, also one of the unfortunate people to get caught up in those crashes. Manages to get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not what you want from the start of this race, as we have Mr. Tuning again off the track. What has happened there? Again, Mr. Tuning struggling to find grip, it seems. Going to change the camera type for now, also going to set some proper telemetry. Sorry about that again, I forgot to tamper with the settings. Let's enable all of this. And there we go. So rhythms are part of a very unfortunate start. I wonder if he has suffered any damage. Doesn't seem to be any severe damage, as we have a big battle going on with Gropier, Swabo and Polino Bros going side by side through the first corner. Oh no! Polino Bros going for a extremely aggressive dive bomb maneuver where there really wasn't any sort of gap to be seen. A very questionable move there, with Gropier having to suffer a lot of having to suffer from that outcome, as Blackout Julian seems to be struggling. The Red Bull driver has lost indeed a part of his front wing. A lot of stuff happening right at the start of the race. As we join back with Gropier, Polino Bros and Schwabo, where I did see in the corner of my eye Polino Bros being awarded a time penalty for multiple questionable actions on track. Hopefully Polino Bros understands to start driving a bit more passively by now. It seems like he has been caught up in quite a few situations by now. Gropier and Schwabo having an intense teammate on teammate rivalry battle on track. As Gropier has lost 2 positions and Schwabo incredibly has gotten 6 positions in his hand, while Courtois with an amazing 10 positions gained from the start of the race. Quite an achievement already from the McLaren driver, as Giova's also seemed to pull quite a lot of positions from the start, with 5 positions gained straight into second place, although Al Atakar being the undoubted race controller at this point. He's just controlling the race with more than 10 seconds of a gap behind him. Just unbelievable pace by this guy in the Haas. Seems like everything is clicking for Al Atakar in this test race. Giova losing out, seems like a couple of seconds each lap, having Courtois following him right behind. So it seems like there will be, however, a tight battle, as it seems like Courtois then looking to go for a move around Giova. Around the outside we go, turning into the inside for this corner as Giova goes a little bit wide there, but manages to scavenge some exit speed through that line, as he seems to be very much struggling with these tyres right now. Must have overheated them, and yes, indeed he is going to the pits, as he definitely might have overcooked those tyres. As now we see Dropier in the Sauber looking to make a move on Courtois. As wait, Al-Attaqer has gone to the pits as well. So it seems like this might be the pit window, or rather this might be a point where people just are struggling to keep their tyres within operating temperature, as Dropier goes for the move and makes it stick around Courtois. Nice battling, and Polino Bros right behind these two, looking for a nice top 3 battle as of now. Of course, Al-Attaqer undoubtedly being the effective leader of the race, as we have a mistake from Courtois, which also compromises Polino Bros, especially for him trying to make a move, but braking wisely so that he can save his front wing for another day. And applaudable action from the Toro Rosso person, not for going too heated into battle and losing out on his front wing and potentially on both of their races. Al-Attaqer already closing up to the top 2 who haven't pitted yet, while Al-Attaqer has gone in for an earlier pit stop. And Dropier going out of the pits. Seems right behind Giova, who manages to get that place after pitting himself as well. So it seems like most of the drivers have opted to go for soft tyres, it seems, while Rhythms is the only one on track with medium tyres, as seems like he has just gone out of the pits. Yes, he has gone out of the pits and fitted medium tyres. In 8th place currently, as we see a battle right in front of him between Falcon and Dropier. Force India versus Sauber it is. We'll see what Falcon can do here. Seems like he's losing out a little bit on Dropier, and it's like Dropier is starting to pull out a gap, while Giova seems to be doing really well, and the Ferrari going quite wide there, the exit of the last corner, but keeping the Ferrari still in the top 5, as Rhythms having suffered quite a blow on the first lap, keeping the Ferrari name at the top, as it should be. While we still do have this intense battle, it seems, going on and on between Polino Bros and Courtois, these two are battling for the 2 podium positions of 2nd and 3rd. And have these 2 pitted yet? It seems like they have not pitted, or have they? It says 7 laps while we are on lap 8, lap 9, so I do not know. Might have actually pitted. Okay, yeah, these two might have pitted at the start of the race, and are now trying to hang on to these tyres as long as possible, which might be the case. I guess we will see towards, or I guess we'll see as the race progresses. While Polino Bro's doing another mistake yet again, which allows Courtois to go for a very risky move through the chicane, having made contact with Polino Bros. Seems like Courtois fortunately did not lose any bit of his front wing, while Polino Bros fortunately not spinning out either from the contact. But reminding people to take it a bit easier, because we can still hand out extra penalties in the actual league if we deem a certain move inappropriate, or in any case, yeah, we can be submitted any clip. Any of the three hosts, me, Denmark or Rhythms, and if we deem it illegal, we can give an extra penalty, which will then be seen in the official league points. What's it called? God damn it. Pointing out being bilingual is probably not a good thing, because right now everything that I can think of in my head is coming out in Finnish, so that's where all the stuttering in English comes from. And yeah, I'll just try to survive for these few races as I'm commentating. But sorry, as I was gonna say, yeah, going a bit off on a tangent there. But yeah, basically we can be submitted any clip and we can then hand out extra penalties. As Rhythms gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It seems like these warnings are being handed out from pack extending, most likely. And as it's on strict corner cutting, we can definitely see the effects of it with all the warnings. That's, excuse my camera usage here, but did not see Blackout Julian coming in that quick behind Rhythms, making that move stick. Nice move from Blackout Julian, as he is looking to grab 7th position now from Falk as well, and force India. Falk getting another penalty, 3 seconds of multiple warnings as well, as we focus on Blackout Julian and Rhythms, as these two are most likely being held up by Falk, as Blackout Julian braking a bit questionably in a corner that he would usually just about let off, as we have a retirement from Tristan, which unfortunately we did not catch. So we have the two last places of the grid with Schwabo and the Sauber. He seemed to be doing pretty well at the starting stages of the race, battling his fellow teammate in the Sauber as well, Gautier, for a while, and he's now somehow found himself at the back of the grid. Seems like, okay, so he has done a pit stop. As it seems, he's done 2 laps on these medium sets. He might have suffered damage of some sort, so yeah, for now we do not know. I wish there was some sort of broadcast control setting where you could automatically navigate to all the action on track and even have replays of crashes or whatnot, but I guess that's getting already a bit too advanced for Codemasters or any game studio, to be fair, to handle. But that would be great, as my commentating and broadcasting skills are not anywhere near top notch. As we have Polino Bros and Courtois, these two having battled fiercely for the second place, now seem to settle within 2 seconds of each other, Courtois being third, Polino Bros in second. Both of the McLarens doing extremely well. It seems both Courtois in third place and the Ginger in fourth place. Nice to see the orange colour this far up the grid. And it seems like Mr. Tuning has retired, as it would be interesting to see where he has retired. Mr. Tuning out on the walls. I have no idea what that could mean. Seemed like he had disconnected already. So, yeah. Bit odd. Don't know what happened there. Could be damage, could be anything really. Unfortunate for Mr. Tuning. So, by a lap 14 out of lap 35, as we're closing up on the mid stage of the race, we have 3 retirements out of 14 cars. So all we have left is 1 non-points scoring position, which is currently in the hands of Schwabo, who seems to be attacking Flip-Flop Fish now for that last point scoring position. As we see 2 of the widest cars on the grid, Sauber and Williams, battling it out now, as Schwabo looking for a gap around the outside of Flip-Flop Fish. Not quite enough of overlap to make it stick, while, a bit of contact there. Hopefully nothing to affect the front wing of Schwabo. Whereas, yes, yeah, behind, no, okay, that was again quite questionable. Flip-Flop Fish getting shunted by Schwabo. As you're the car behind someone else attacking someone, you have to expect them to, well, basically contact is in your hands. You'll be the car. What's it called? The car behind will be oh my god, I'm just having a full-on blackout as we have a massive crash with Schwabo and Flip-Flop Fish. Very questionable again. Schwabo just going way too late on the brakes compared to Flip-Flop Fish. As I was saying, if you're the car behind, it is in your hands to not make contact. You have to expect the car in front to, well, obviously you can't expect the car in front to do, well, questionable things or really unpredictable stuff, but as you're the car behind, it is your responsibility to brake earlier and look for the opening, rather than always attacking straight for the gap that you see in front. And that was the word that I was looking for, responsibility. Got to put that deeper in my head. for future commentary if I ever get into commentating. But yeah, as I was saying, your responsibility if you're the car behind. You have to be expecting the car in front to brake, and you will have to brake accordingly. And then we have LRL lapping Schwabo for the first time, as we have a yellow flag in sector 1. That could only mean it is Schwabo who has now ended it in the walls. Quite a bad race, to be fair, from Schwabo there, not what you were looking for. Crashing into the back of Flip-Flop Fish more than one time. But yeah. Oh, we have Polino Gross, who has been adventuring on the grassy side of Hungary with this Toro Rosso. As he's actually just come out of the pit as well with fresh medium tyres. Seems like this is the second pit window for people who have opted for the soft stint after the start of the race. So most likely Polino Bros suffering from the cold tyres. Out of the pits, so yeah, we've got Blackout Julian, who's exiting the pits, it seems, with the Red Bull, opting for a soft stint. Wonder if this is going to be his last stop. Yes, no, I have no clue. It could be possible to stretch out the softs for what would be, how many laps is that? Okay, it's lap 19 for LRL, and for Blackout Julian was lap 18, so putting in 17 laps potentially with yellow soft tyres could be quite a stretch. So this could be a place for Blackout Julian then to opt for a ultra soft set by the end of the race, as it seems like things have started to settle more or less around the grid, with Rhythms in 5th place, stretching his medium set for 14 laps, as we have confirmation that you can indeed keep soft tyres for 17 laps. We have Falk here, who has driven quite a substantial amount of laps with his current set. It still seems like he has got some life left in these tyres, so seems like Blackout Julian then could be in for what looks like a one-stopper. Stops, no, he has already stopped twice, it seems, so there we go. Seems like no one is going for a one-stopper. Actually, Courtois is looking to go for a one-stopper. It seems he is now on medium tyres, as he has a massive tank slapper, but manages to catch it nicely done from Courtois, keeping the car on the tarmac. As there's a position change due to Giova diving into the pit lane as he goes for a quick stop, and it goes for a second set of soft tyres, which will most probably go to the end of the race. And Rhythms, I have no clue what he can do with these medium sets. Most likely I'm willing to bet that we'll have to stop sooner or later for a ultra soft set by the end of the race. Well, we cannot see the tyre wear percentage with these drivers, so it's hard to speculate where or whether sorry for the constant blackouts. My brain is not working today as it should be. But that aside, Rhythm is now in third place after seeing the Ginger pit for the second time, putting in another set of soft tyres. Seems like this is now the pit window for the soft tyres. The soft tyre runners who will most likely end the race in these sets, as Alatakir has performed his pit stop and has come out of the pits 15 seconds in front of Dropier, which just shows how much of a pace advantage the Haas driver has towards the rest of the grid. Incredible pace shown by the Spaniard today. Really can't say anything else except well done to beat the rest of the grid with such a margin. Of course, the race hasn't ended yet, but as it seems, Alatakir is driving very consistently. No mistakes in sight, and a very stable race from this guy. As of now, definitely our favourite to winning this race. As Rhythms has now gained places as people have had to pit, although he is now on 17 laps old medium tyres. Polino Bros following further back with a 6 lap old set of mediums, most probably going to the end of the race, while Rhythms might have to stop for a second time. This is going to be a tough game of tyre management, but we'll see what happens as Alatakir sets a flying lap below 1 minute 19.188. This guy definitely has the pace to win the championship, as it seems, from this test race. As he has a massive moment there after turn 2, wheel spin causing the car to unsettle itself and go all the way to the grass. Alatakir now having to cool himself down to make sure he doesn't make a similar mistake right now, as he will have less grip due to the tyres getting some grass on them. But Alatakir having nothing to worry about, as the gap behind him has now grown to 24 seconds roughly, with Rhythms being second as of now. I really do wonder where Rhythms will place himself if he can somehow pull out the tyre management skills and set medium tyres all the way to the end of the race, which I doubt. he might be in for quite a good point scoring position after the huge moment in the first lap. As we have Polino Bros seemingly doing a good job of copying Rhythms' pace, around 7 seconds, as we have Giova with a time penalty with multiple warnings. I wonder if we will see people getting disqualified, as we have action here between the Ginger and Blackout Julian, as we have quite a big lag spike from Blackout Julian. Hopefully a Ginger has not lost any bit of his front wing over there. As we speak, I was going to say Courtois has now retired as well, so as of now only 9 runners left in this Grand Prix. So yeah, we have it as quite big gaps. I mean, gaps are starting to form between all the drivers. It would only make sense with the grid being this small in our test race. But never mind that, we have Dropier and Polino Bros within 1 second of each other, which means Dropier will have DRS open in the DRS zone. So what can Dropier do against Polino Bros? We will have to wait and see. Oh, as I get quite I do not read comments frequently enough, but so there we see, so Dropier. So that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. So it's not Dropier, it's Dropier. Wait a minute. Have we seen Dropier make a move on Polino Bros? Have I missed out on a move on these two? I think I have. I'm sorry about that. I was concentrating on the comments right at the or the worst possible time. But as we have Giova closing in on Polino Bros. Giova looking to close up into the DRS gap, which will mean that Giova will also have DRS open on Polino Bros. Seems to be struggling a bit now on these sets of mediums. Giova being on fresher sets of soft tyres, most likely going to be able to catch up to Polino Bros, and sooner or later we'll be seeing a move by him, as we have Blackout Julian making a move on the Ginger as a response to Ginger, as they're going side by side through the first corner. And do we see yet another move from the Ginger? He can't quite stick it around the outside, not enough overlap, but good battling from these two. Seems like these two have quite similar pace, and as the Ginger getting a 3-second time penalty for yet more track extending, which is not fun for a driver in this track. I definitely would have preferred a regular, but then again, it's too much of a risk to let people have the freedom of cutting the chicane with them getting out with no further action. So it has to be a compromise. As let's go ahead and concentrate again on Giova closing in on Polino Bros. He has just missed out on a DRS, but seems to be closing in by the time of that straight. He is now 0.8 seconds behind Polino Bros. Sooner or later we might be seeing a move from the Ferrari driver, as Rhythms has now got a gap of 31 seconds between him and Alatakir. Alatakir just having immense pace altogether in this weekend. It's just incredible. Drop here, following in with a 5-second gap to Rhythms, 4.8 now. So drop here with a fresh set of softs will most likely be catching up to Rhythm sooner or later, as now we should probably turn our eyes on Giova and Polino Bros, as they will now most likely come together. Actually come together, sorry, not come together. I'm not meaning to bash anyone with crashing, as we have a great switchback from Polino Bros just appearing at the corner of the screens, trying his hardest to hang around the outside of Giova, but with an older set of medium tyres, missing out on 4th place. As Giova comes in and steals it right out of his nose. Although it does seem like Polino Bros has some potential pace to get that 4th position back, we might see a counter maneuver at the end of this lap against Giova. Some really good battling going between the Scuderia Toro Rosso and the Scuderia Ferrari team in Hungary. Let's see, not the exit you would have wanted from Polino Bros, but let's see, can he go for a maneuver? No, he can't for the first corner. But yeah, another DRS zone could make it possible for the second quarter, but it's not quite enough. So there we have it. Most likely Giova will be keeping his 4th place. Oh, who knows? It seems like Polino Bros having some exceptional pace on these medium tyres. Could be that Giova's tyres are starting to degrade or overheat, so who knows what could happen between these two. So far, looking at the rest of the grid, looking at the gaps, it does not seem like anyone's having any sort of battle happening right here, as we have a drop here closing in on Rhythms. Oh no, okay, so Polino Bros again. These gaps are making me anxious because every time I see someone under a second of each other, it just makes me want to switch the camera to them, but hopefully it's not pissing off anyone that were watching this stream right now, as I'm constantly switching back and forth. But Polino Bros really trying his all to get a back on Giova, but don't see it happening. Stropia is now close in within 1 second of Rhythms F1 with Rhythms doing an incredible stint of 25 laps on the medium set, and so much as I was doubting him, he has actually pulled off quite the stint that I was not expecting. But it seems like out of all the things the race has thrown at him, Rhythms might be in for a podium position in front of his fellow Ferrari teammate. But as it seems, Dropia will have quite the pace advantage on 9 laps old soft tyres, while Rhythm's having to go on and on for 26 laps on his medium tyres. This will most certainly turn out to be an easier move for Droppier then, but who knows. Let's see what Rhythms can do with his defending against the Sauber driver. As we come into the second sector, which is not an ideal place for an overtake, but as we close into the last sector and the DRS zones, we'll most likely see some action unfolding between these two. Droppier being millimeters off of Rhythms in the second to last corner. Seems like he does have quite the pace advantage. Hard to imagine that Rhythms can do much going towards the first corner, although there is quite the gap between these two, so it seems like Rhythms is still capable of fighting for the second place. Come on Rhythms, it's only 4 laps left to the end of the race. I believe that Rhythms can still hang on to second place and make this an interesting battle. Trying not to be biased, but I'm definitely rooting for Rhythms here to keep this place for a battle. Droppier being so close to Rhythms as we near the end of the second sector and go towards the third sector yet again. Droppier getting a superior exit on Rhythms, having a tiny lockup, being so close to Rhythms yet again, and he's looking to set up an overtake for the first corner with a wide line through the last corner, maximising the exit speed. Rhythms going for the inside, and they just go side by side through the first corner. Droppier having the superior acceleration through the first corner with the superior traction, of course. Rhythms and Droppier clashing together at the second corner, but nothing Rhythms can really do, as he does have 28 laps won medium tyres. And did I see that correctly? Was that debris? I might have seen some debris flying off Rhythms' front wing. Hopefully not, for Rhythms' sake. But as it seems, Droppier now with a superior pace will control second place from now on. With 2 laps to go, Al Atakar at the top with a 40-second gap on everyone. It's quite remarkable, to say the least. Although Rhythms are still hanging on tight with a 0.6 second gap, and Polino Bro still hanging tight as well with the other Ferrari driver, Giova. And as we come in right at the perfect moment, and it seems like Polino Bros is setting up a move on Giova. Giova defending the inside. What can we get from this battle as they clash together? A little bit contact made there, while Polino Bros looking to set up another move towards the second corner, and Giova making his Ferrari the widest possible Ferrari you have seen in Hungary, just about defending that place from Polino Bros. This battle definitely spicing up towards the last lap of the race, as we have now gone towards the last lap of the race actually, as Al Atakar is now already closing in to finish the race. Going towards the first sector, seems like surely we have the race winner here. Al Atakar is weaving across, and definitely a really nicely controlled race from the Spaniard. Good race, no problems whatsoever, perfectly handled, perfect pace, perfect qualifying, and if I'm not mistaken, a proper domination throughout the weekend, as he also was the pace setter during practice. As we finally go towards the last corner, we have Al Atakar all the way, undoubtedly the best of the people. My English doesn't work today. Al Atakar, congratulations on the win for the second test race of the season. And here soon we'll have a drop here just about in front of Rhythms, completing his race with one position gained since the start. Nicely done. Dropier and Rhythms coming in with an incredible medium tyre stint, a 31 lap stint, and nicely done from Rhythms. And here we have Blackout Julian finishing 4th. Giova, wait a second, did we have Blackout Julian just coming in front of Giova at the last lap of the race, or did I see wrong there? I do not know. I'm sorry guys if my commentary was definitely not on point today, because I'm definitely a bit tired, a bit exhausted from today as a whole, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. But here we have it. Al Atakar winning the second test race. Seems like all of the grid has got their share of penalties here from the strict corner cutting, but congratulations to the podium, Al Atakar, Dropier, Rhythms, all incredible results from today, all driving spectacular races, and the rest of the grid as well. Thank you for participating for today's race, and again, hope you had fun, and thank you for everyone watching the stream. And as for now, GG everyone, and I am off.